Jewish people started coming and settling in Chicago by the 1840s. As in most other parts of the United States, the initial Jewish influx was of the German Jews. Those from Eastern Europe came to Chicago in droves in the 1880s and on. It was very common for landsmen, or those who lived near each other in Europe, to congregate together in a tight-knit community when they came to America, and that would mean that they would have their own synagogue. This episode is about the Austro-Galicia Synagogue on the west side. It was established by those who came from the Austro-Galicia area of the Austrian Empire. The building shown here is of its location on the 1000 North Ashland Avenue block, for sure from 1902 to 1917. Then in the 1920s, the Jews started moving further west, either into the Humboldt Park area or the North Lawndale area, in the area around Douglas Park. As one can see, it eventually became an Hispanic church. It stayed that way till about 2015. You can see here an interior of the main sanctuary area. It's possible that these may have been the same benches or pews that Jewish congregants sat at, as well as looking or facing where the Holy Ark would have been, where it is now a stage. Around 5 years ago, the building was sold, and as one can see here, the front portion of it was retained, and the rear portion was converted into a tall residential property. Kudos should be given to the contractors for keeping some semblance of its original purpose for public view. The Austro-Galiciana Shul eventually settled into its next permanent home on the 1300 North block of California, across from Humboldt Park. It could be found in the yellow pages of Chicago between the years 1928 and 1955. In its glory years, it hired the tenor from the Metropolitan Opera House, Richard Tucker, as the cantor on the high holidays. Near the top, emblazoned in stone, one can see the Torah scroll. The building intersected at the corner with Haddon Street. Here is a side view of the building. A close-up of the stained glass windows shows Jewish stars in the middle. Here is a look at its interior, which is now another Hispanic church. Again, it's quite possible these rows of pews may be a carryover from when it was a synagogue, and again, it is facing this time east towards where the Holy Ark would have been. In 1956, it again moved further west, this time to the Peterson Park area of the north side of Chicago. It merged with a brand new synagogue called Beth Israel, becoming A.G. Beth Israel, the A.G. standing for Austro-Galicia. It made for a nice union or marriage of one synagogue with all the cash and the other one just starting out. The practice of the synagogue services was known as traditional, a slight notch below Orthodox. As more Orthodox people moved into the area, they were less traditional, and it was more difficult to maintain the feasibility and the fiscal ability of the synagogue. About 10 years ago, it was sold to a Jewish Orthodox boys-only high school. Again, the congregation moved on and merged with the Lincolnwood Jewish congregation in Lincolnwood. At the time of the merger, both were, for the most part, traditionally observant. However, now the Lincolnwood Jewish congregation is strictly Orthodox. The synagogue is now called Lincolnwood Jewish Congregation, A.G. Beth Israel. And so goes how one synagogue has survived over 100 years in various locations in the Chicago area. We hope to be able to check out similar stories. So, bye for now and see you soon.